You know, I'm actually glad that old Joe pardoned his son Hunter for any and all crimes, known and unknown, over the last decade because, well, it's utterly humiliating for the Democrats. And now they don't even have a leg to stand on regarding any of their complaints about Donald Trump's trumped up charges. The Democrats haven't been this humiliated since, well, Election Day. Remember the 5th of November. Here is CNN interviewing Democrat Congressman Dan Goldman, where they actually showed a clip of him previously on the network saying that there wasn't a chance that Joe Biden would do such a thing.
In July of 2023, just after that plea deal fell through, this is what you said. I want to watch.
Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends and anyone who had any access to him.
Only Donald Trump would undermine our democracy in such an egregious way.
I mean, what does that feel like, watching yourself back then, reassuring people that Biden was not going to issue a pardon for his son?
Yeah, and I think that if that plea agreement and that plea deal had gone through, there would be no pardon. That was a satisfactory outcome.
It already fallen through.
That only was. Sorry?
When you reacted, this was when the deal had fallen through.
Oh, this is the look of a man who has been caught in such an obvious lie. There's no way out. Back in 2018, Congressman Adam Schiff was so delusional due to his Trump derangement syndrome, he was concerned that President Trump was going to pardon Donald Trump Jr., expecting Donald Trump Jr. to be indicted and imprisoned for the Russia hoax, that he introduced legislation trying to prevent presidents from pardoning family members.
What exactly would it do?
What it would do is say that in the event the president pardons anyone in an investigation in which the president is a witness, a subject, or the target, those investigative files will all be turned over to the Congress. The Congress ought to know whether the president is using the pardon power to obstruct justice. The American people have a right to know. I think it is clearly constitutional. It doesn't prohibit him from granting a pardon, even a pardon he shouldn't grant. But it does say that we will be able to at least find out whether the president is using this power to shield himself from liability.
Oh, you mean like old Joe shielding himself as the big guy, pardoning his consigliere, Hunter, from all and any crimes that he committed while money laundering and engaging in influence trafficking with Ukraine. But after Hunter Biden's convictions and everyone knowing what would ultimately happen at the end of old Joe's term regarding the pardons, the liberal media assured the American people with a straight face that he would never do such a thing.
Presidential promise to put the law before family.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Letting the world know that he will not wipe away the decision of 12 of his son's peers.
Was asked directly, and he has said he wouldn't pardon his son if he gets convicted.
Let's wait and see what happens if he loses.
Yeah, but he said it.
He's going to get pardoned by his dad. There's no question about that.
The president has ruled out pardoning his son.
Major commitment from the president, accepting the outcome of the trial and also pledging not to pardon his son.
So the challenge for him is really to continue to live up to his values when it was really personal, and he did that today.
He did that tonight. And thanks to the power of the internet, we have countless clips like these of Democrats assuring the American people after the persecution of Donald Trump that no one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one 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 is above the law.
Merry Christmas, Hunter. Whoopi Goldberg over on The View, which, by the way, is the #1 most watched talk show in daytime television in America. That's how many divorced women and single moms there are out there. She insists that Joe Biden was never lying.
I respect it as a parent. I understand why he would do it. Yeah. But I wonder to understand why lie about it for so long.
I'd stop calling it a lie.
Okay, why repeatedly say you're not going to and you do? And secondarily, for the
So she agreed. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to tarnish old Joe as a liar. This woman is the fake token conservative who is just there to claim that she's a conservative while she just complains about every single thing that conservatives do and believe.
I think Biden had no intentions of pardoning Hunter. And I think the more stuff that went down.
You mean he didn't expect to have to pardon Hunter because he was hoping that he would be found not guilty?
And I think the more stuff that went down.
The more guilty verdicts?
I think he said, well, why am I busting my behind to stay straight and do this when nobody else is, when no one else is?
He was indicted by the Biden Justice Department under the watch of Merrick Garland. He was convicted by a jury of his peers, but old Joe just couldn't play it straight anymore. He had to become corrupt in order to save America. Sadly, we don't have video of cringe Jean-Pierre, old Joe's spokeswoman at the White House, being confronted about this, although I'm sure that it will be brought up during future White House press briefings. We do have some audio of her, however.
You have said repeatedly yourself since the election, the president has said for months, no pardon was coming. I wanted to ask you, could those statements now be seen as lies from the American people? Is there really a credibility issue here given now this announcement?
First of all, one of the things that the president always believes is to be truthful to the American people. That is something that he always truly believed. And if you see the end of his, I assume that you've read his statement, and you look at the end of that statement, and he actually says that in the first line in the last paragraph.
Okay, that's just another Kamala Harris level word salad, so I guess we're just going to have to wait until the next White House press briefing for Peter Doocy to do his job and get the video clip. Others with Trump derangement syndrome, however, blame Donald Trump for all this.
But look, I mean, if you're talking about lying or you're talking about Joe Biden's word, Joe Biden's out of here in just a month or two, right? We're not going to hear from Joe Biden again. He's going to be a former president, and that's going to be the end of that. But I want to be clear about something. Donald Trump broke something in this country when he got elected the first time, and then he shattered it into a million pieces when he got reelected. And we will never get that back again. When you have a president of the United States, an incoming president, effectively saying that he's going to weaponize the Justice Department to go after his enemies, when he called the Biden family, the Biden quote-unquote crime family, and made it very clear that he was going to do everything in his power to appoint people who were going to go after them, regardless of whether they committed crimes or not. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand which way the wind was going to blow. And as I said again.
As you said again, you're accusing Donald Trump of the exact same things that the Democrat Party are guilty of. But leave it to the twits on TikTok to beg Joe Biden for more corruption.
This message is for my president, Joe Biden, and I probably speak for millions of Americans in this country. Please, Joe, please, 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 please use your immunity now to do whatever you can to make sure that this selfish, narcissist, lying traitor never becomes a dictator and does not have the ability to take away things from the American people that we have contributed to for decades. Please, Joe, use the immunity that was implemented basically for the one that's always above the law. Use it now to your advantage and for the American people.
Undermine democracy to save democracy, Joe. But speaking of savings, today for Cyber Monday, you could save 20% off of anything from my newly redesigned markdice.com by using the promo code PARDONME at the checkout. One word, pardon me, including the new MAGA Christmas and Happy 4 More Years shirt, the Trump Claus sweatshirt or t-shirt for those in warmer climates, or any of my awesome designs, like the classic Trump Fight, the Trump in the Matrix, Christ is King, Teflon Don, all available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below. Head to the promo code PARDON ME at the checkout to save 20% off today, Cyber Monday, and check them out.